Welcome to Jersey's Best Podcast, your weekly deep dive into everything that makes New Jersey spectacular, bizarre, beautiful, sometimes annoying, but always the best. My name is Jeremy Schneider. I'm a food and culture reporter for NJ.com and the Star-Ledger, and I'm also your host. Once again, a quick reminder that you can send episode suggestions, guest ideas, and questions our way at jerseysbestpodcast@gmail.com. And follow us at Jersey's Best Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. I'm serious, guys. You should be following us there. Okay, that wasn't so good. I can say something better than that. Here we go. Your weekly reminder to send episode suggestions, guest ideas, and questions our way at Jersey's Best Podcast @gmail.com, or follow us at Jersey's Best Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. I say this every week, but I'm serious. You got to follow us there. It's hilarious. It's good. If you like the podcast, you're going to like what we're posting there. Please follow us. I might even follow back. This week, Jersey's Best Podcast is going to Philadelphia for cheesesteaks. Wait a minute. Maybe not. Because while the city of brotherly love... Wait a minute. Maybe not. Because while the city of brotherly love gets all the attention and accolades for its beefy, cheesy sandwiches, New Jersey has a cheesesteak scene all its own. I'm going to read that again. I didn't like that one. Wait a minute. Maybe not. Because while the city of brotherly love gets all the attention and accolades for its beefy, cheesy sandwiches, New Jersey has a cheesesteak scene all its own. New Jersey has a cheesesteak scene all its own. You might even call it a subculture. All jokes aside, I'm serious, guys. New Jersey has a... But I'm serious. New Jersey has a... Okay. Did I say New Jersey has a cheesesteak culture?
You said something about subculture.
Okay. All right. But all jokes aside, New Jersey is serious about its cheesesteaks. It's not just that Anthony Bourdain once said the best Philly cheesesteak is made at Donkey's Place in Camden. It's not even just that the Garden State is loaded with incredible cheesesteak spots that stretch far beyond the Philly suburbs. New Jersey even has its own style of cheesesteak. That might sound like classic Jersey bravado, but there are distinct differences between the steaks they're slinging in the Keystone State and what you get on this side of the Delaware River. Joining me today to break down New Jersey cheesesteak culture, the Jersey-style cheesesteak, Camden-style cheesesteaks, and eventually build our own New Jersey cheesesteak Mount Rushmores, is Chris Burch, a food and culture reporter for NJ.com, a South Jersey native, and a cheesesteak expert. I'm saying cheesesteak too much. I'm gonna do that one more time. Joining me today to break down New Jersey cheesesteak culture, the Jersey-style cheesesteak, Camden-style cheesesteaks, and eventually build our own New Jersey cheesesteak Mount Rushmores, is Chris Burch, a food and culture reporter for NJ.com, a South Jersey native, and a cheesesteak expert. Chris, welcome to Jersey's Best Podcast.
We'll clap up for that. Woo! Appreciate you for having me here, Jeremy. I feel like it's been a long time coming. I'm excited to be on this pod. I've seen a lot of great guests come through here. I'm just glad I got my time to shine. It's a great introduction, but I'll get into a little bit more of what we're going to talk about here. We're going to get into the illustrious landscape of Jersey-style cheesesteaks. And aside my man, Jeremy Schneider, I'm Chris Burch, food and culture reporter at NJ.com as well. And I'm here to spew some opinions, and maybe you guys will love them, maybe you guys will hate them. I don't know. Comment, like, subscribe, do what you got to do. And the feedback is appreciated. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I'm going to mean it.
Hey, that's why we brought you here, man. I was waiting for the right episode to have you on, and I've been lucky enough to work with Chris for a few years now, and I always love talking to you about South Jersey food, but especially cheesesteaks, because I can tell you're passionate about them. I am as well. And Philly gets all the attention for cheesesteaks, but you know it better than I do even. New Jersey is a cheesesteak paradise, isn't it?
Yeah, New Jersey is a cheese... First of all, New Jersey is a hub for just about everything, all foods. But cheesesteaks definitely are a standout. Obviously, more in the southern part of New Jersey than further up north. But yeah, New Jersey is a hotbed for cheesesteaks. The Garden State does not only have pizza and boardwalk foods. We got a lot of cheesesteaks and some that can rival some of the best in Philadelphia.
Anthony Bourdain said that, and I trust that man with my life. So I love Donkey's Place, and you talk about New Jersey cheesesteaks, you got to talk about the Philly suburbs. It's no surprise that the cheesesteak culture of Philadelphia has spilled over into the Philly suburbs. You got Donkey's Place, you got Chick's Deli, you got Carmen's Deli in Belmar, but it goes beyond that too. You have a cheesesteak culture down the shore, especially. You mentioned boardwalk food, and you have all these boardwalk cheesesteaks. Midway steaks, original steaks, but also even fancier spots like Palmer's Quality Meats in Neptune City makes a $17 cheesesteak that I've not yet been able to have, but everyone I talk to says is life-affirming. Have you had that one yet?
I mean, no, I haven't had that one, but it's interesting you brought up the $17 cheesesteak, the price point, because I was just talking to somebody the other day. Cheesesteaks cost $17, $18 nowadays. Like, that seems like what they're running for. They used to be a lot cheaper. You used to be able to get a $10, $12 cheesesteak, but you're paying $20 for a cheesesteak, especially a good one. You're paying right around $20 for it nowadays. So I'm glad you brought that up.
If you're getting a cheap cheesesteak, chances are you're not getting great meat. You're not getting great steak. And
message.
We'll we'll get into what makes a good cheesesteak down the line, but it's obvious to me that, I mean, if you put in poor quality steak, you're getting a poor quality cheesesteak. That's just common sense. But it's not just the South either. It's not just the shore. I've been to plenty of great cheesesteak spots in North Jersey. Christo's Wake and Steak is probably my personal favorite up north. Christo's been making some wild steaks and sandwiches up in Bloomfield for several years now, and I know you got a chance to check it out recently. And I was very nervous recommending a spot to my boy Chris, who he knows cheesesteaks better than I do, and I cede to him. So I was very nervous to hear what he thought of it, and he made the trip to Essex County. And what was the verdict?
I was pleasantly surprised, and I can't even say that I had low expectations, because you weren't the only person that recommended Christo's Wake and Steak. And I scoped the scenery out before I even pulled up. I wanted to make sure they weren't, just doing it for the Instagram videos and TikTok videos. This is seriously a no-frills spot. The door squeaks when you open it. You go in there, you got packet ketchup, which is we'll get to that later.
Oh boy,
which I prefer packet ketchup. But yeah, the steak was good. I thought it was a really good steak. My only knock on it was the roll wasn't as exactly how I liked it. I might have liked a different roll on it, but that was the best cheesesteak I had north of Robbinsville.
That is high praise. I'll take that. Christo's doing it right. My favorite part of Christo's, other than the cheesesteak, is the fact they have an article I wrote, not on the wall, but in the bathroom.
That's prime real estate.
I went in there. I was there to try their Italian beef after I went to Chicago and posted a sandwich from Mr. Beef where they did the bear. Christo messaged me. He's like, dude, you got to come try mine and compare it. And it was a very good Italian beef. Christo's doesn't just do cheesesteaks. They do North Shore beef from Boston. They do Sloppy Joe's. They do Chicago beef. And I'm going to wash my hands because it's a messy sandwich. And I just see my North Shore beef article on the wall in the bathroom. I've never seen that before. That's the highest praise you can get. That is the prime real estate, like you said. But I mean, it's no surprise that cheesesteaks are good down in South Jersey. But this, I mean, is it fair to say that New Jersey cheesesteak culture permeates beyond just the Philly suburbs?
Yes, I have to say it permeates beyond the Philly suburbs, because there's a heavy cheesesteak culture, like you mentioned, at the shore, or what you would consider shore. I might even call North Jersey up, in the Monmouth, Ocean County areas, and even down in Atlantic County. There's spots in Atlantic City that are great spots.
White House subs right here, baby.
Exactly, and that's one of a few. We got a couple on the rise. We got Tony Baloney's been in Atlantic City for a while. Always praised for their cheesesteaks. You got a new spot called Cuzzy's I keep hearing about. I actually got to get out there and try them, but they're out in Atlantic City, or the Atlantic City area, and yeah, high praise. So it definitely has expanded further than the Philadelphia suburbs, me being a Philadelphia suburb native. It's going, but it probably hasn't substantiated as much as it could yet. Gotcha.
I'm excited to see where it goes. I feel like every pizzeria in New Jersey these days is also doing a cheesesteak, which is cool and is not cool. I really like. I love cheesesteaks, but I also think a little cheesesteak goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll talk about my feelings about the dish in general down like a little late in the episode. But before we get any further, I need to ask you, Chris, because you told me that New Jersey has its own distinct cheesesteak style, and I was a little embarrassed that I didn't know this. I wasn't well versed in this. You brought it to my attention and have educated me. Now let's educate everyone else. What is a Jersey style cheesesteak?
The Jersey cheesesteaks, they're I think I used the term clean cut cousin of a Philly steak. Like they're a little easier to eat, less packed with beef and stuff. So you're not more inclined to eat it on like the hood of a car or something like that. Like when you're in Philly, those steaks get messy, seriously. Might bleed through the bag, it's whatever. And a lot of people do prefer those. I feel like over in Jersey, we go a little easier on stuffing a roll with too much meat and focus on making sure that the beef is seasoned, the steak is seasoned well, and the roll is always an emphasis on both sides of the Delaware. But our steaks are just a little cleaner, and obviously aside from the Donkey's steaks and other people that are making them similar to Donkey's, the Jersey steaks are interesting, close to the Philly ones, but just a little cleaner, I would say. That's the big summary. A little easier to eat.
Is it a different type of cheese? I mean, I know that's such a hot button issue with cheesesteaks is what kind of cheese you put on it.
So that's the big thing right now. That's like literally the hottest thing in the cheesesteak world is the Cooper Sharp cheese. Like there's a Cooper Sharp cheese revolution. Like people are putting them on burgers. I saw a spot out in Philly that has Cooper Sharp cheesesteak pizza. I believe that's Larry's. So it's like a lot of the Cooper Sharp cheese revolution has been like bigger than anything I've witnessed. I'm not that old, you guys could imagine, but it was always provolones or Americans. But now it's like even some of the oldest cheesesteak institutions in Philly. I think John's Roast Pork is one of them that are. I don't know if they're being forced, but they're offering this Cooper Sharp cheese because the people love it and you really can't get away from it. So right now, Cooper Sharp is leading the way. You even got spots that are making like a yellow Cooper Sharp, Goldsburgers in Haddonfield and Medford, Philly. So so the cheese is interesting, but Cooper Sharp is leading the charge. The last several years has been a revolution.
Is it just as prevalent in Jersey as Philly?
Yeah,
I know Christos does it.
I believe that we were the first ones to use the Cooper Sharp cheese.
Wait, Jersey?
And not even I believe, like I'm pretty sure we were the first ones to use Cooper Sharp cheese.
Where? What spot was? I mean, was there a specific spot that originated this, or was it a regional thing?
It was definitely a South Jersey spot. I wish I actually had it in my notes.
I mean, we could take a second and
I'll
figure
come
it out.
back to you.
We'll look it up and we can cut. It's because that's a good nugget to have.
Damn it! Who started it? Yeah, they're gonna say nobody. They're probably gonna say Danny at Angelo's. Why do I feel like I told you this too before? Maybe I'm lying.
Okay, well, so I mean, the Cooper. So I mean, but do you want to just say that you were noticing it at spots in Jersey before you were seeing it in spots in New York?
Yes.
Or in Philly?
In Philly, yes.
Okay, so I'll prompt you on that.
Where did we stop?
Yeah, James will make it. James is very good at this. He'll make it sound good. James, thank you for everything you do. Yeah, no, exactly. So I'll just. All right, so Cooper Sharp is the biggest name in cheesesteaks right now, cheese wise, but. Is that a Jersey thing too, or I mean, who started it?
It was more prevalent in Jersey first. Obviously, you got the Philly, you got the whiz has always been a thing. In Jersey, people offer whiz, but I've never been a guy that's like, oh, let me get whiz. Like I was taking even provolone, I'd take, or American cheese, whatever people were using. I was taking that over whiz, but it was the Cooper Sharp was definitely more prevalent on the Jersey side of the Delaware River before it got as big over in Philly. But a lot of people are doing it in Philly now.
I've definitely had Cooper Sharp, and it's good, but I mean, maybe I'm being a cheesesteak novice here. I feel like it's like Is it that different? I mean, I'm not saying it's not different. It definitely tastes different. But is it like that much better than everything else? I mean, in a professional cheesesteak opinion?
Is it like drastically improved steaks? If it's already a good steak, it'll be a good steak with no cheese. Truthfully, I've literally had just like straight beef steak and been like, oh, this is a good steak because it's good seasoned beef and a good roll. Throw a little ketchup on there. I'm not a mayo guy, but yeah, everybody has their thoughts on that. But it definitely elevates the sandwich, in my opinion. Just that creamier, slightly sweeter, it just meshes with good beef better. I think some people are trying to use it to mask mediocre cheesesteaks and just use the hot cheese right now. But it's like it works best if it's paired with really good steak.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the Jersey style versus the Philly style, do you have a preference?
It depends on if it's nice enough to eat my cheesesteak on the hood of my car that day. Truthfully, if it's cold outside, I just want a Jersey cheesesteak. I can go ahead and just eat it and not get all sloppy over the place, all over my car or whatever. So I probably prefer the Jersey style cheesesteak a little better. I make it a thing when I got to eat a Philly steak. That feels like more of an actual event. Like
production. Yeah.
Like my Jersey steak, I might just be watching football on a Sunday, you order one, or watching football on a Thursday, you order one, or watching football on a Monday.
Lots of football and cheesesteaks in the Burch household.
You know how it goes.
So I guess, I mean, I think I know what you're saying about the New York or the New Jersey versus Philly cheesesteak thing. It's small. It's a little smaller, a little neater, a little less messy. I mean, there are enough cheesesteaks in Jersey that I would put up against like the big name Philly spots. I'm gonna prefer the Jersey style just on business, because like that's what I do. Everything's better in Jersey. I'm a big fan of the Donkey's Place cheesesteak, which will come up later. But I gotta say, my dirty little secret, my little cheesesteak hot take. I'm not saying cheesesteaks are overrated. I'm saying it's not that hard to make a good cheesesteak. I'm not saying it is hard to make a great cheesesteak, but to make a good cheesesteak is just the concept, just the principle. You're taking bread, you're taking steak, and you're taking cheese, and you're mixing. Like, it's not rocket science. That's gonna taste good. Are some better than others? Absolutely. I mean, mentioned a few spots in Jersey already. Yeah, there's obviously the big names in Philly, the D'Alessandros, the Angelos, the Pats, the Genos. But you can get a good cheesesteak anywhere. I know you can, it's easier to get a good cheesesteak in Philly and Jersey, but I've had good cheesesteaks in LA. I've had good cheesesteaks in New York. I've had good cheesesteaks at random pizzerias and God knows where, because it's just not a complex combination. Am I crazy?
Jeremy, I can't believe you said that many words to say nothing at all. That wasn't even. Yes, everyone can make a cheesesteak because it's beefsteak, it's cheese, it's a roll. So you could, I'll take that and I'll compare it to a burger. You've had plenty of burgers out there. Can everyone make a burger? Yeah,
I've had good burger. I mean, look, there's no state is known for burgers. No, because it's just, and I think that it's obvious because, I mean, Philly takes such pride in this. There's a higher concentration. There's more spots specializing in it. And if I'm going to get a cheesesteak, I want to go somewhere that specializes. It's going to be better. But, I mean, even if you take Steakums, if you take American cheese, and you take like a freaking hoagie roll, I'm not saying it's going to be like better than Donkey's Place, but it's not like it's bad. It's like, I guess what I'm saying is that the difference between a good cheesesteak and a bad cheesesteak is not the difference between like good pizza and bad pizza. There's more variance there. And what I'm getting at is that the regional pride that Philadelphia has in cheesesteaks makes no sense to me, just because cool, you make one very obvious sandwich very good. This is Philly, man. You're from Jersey. Come on, I'm not taking any shit.
Yeah. You go crazy, dude. Go crazy. I'm from Philly suburbs.
Exactly. You're from Jersey, bro. You're from NJ.com. I know. I see the time cards. So I guess like when Philly gets excited, I'm like, cool. We make just as good cheesesteaks, if not better cheesesteaks, right here in Jersey. And like, so I mean, Bourdain wasn't lying. Donkey's Place is fire, and I mean, I don't know, man. This whole regional, like, I got love for the city of Philadelphia. I do. And I think you have to appreciate all the cities that surround New Jersey because while we are our own thing, they influence us. But for you to get all excited about steak and cheese, that's like getting excited, being like, oh, yeah, like, I don't know, like going to the beach is fun. Like, obviously, like the sky is blue, grass is green, and cheese and meat taste good together. I don't know, man. Like it just seems a little rudimentary to me. And it's not something. It's not like, oh, they have the best steak in Philadelphia or they have the best cheese in Philadelphia. Like it'd be one thing if like Wisconsin's like we have these dairies, we have amazing cheese, so our cheesesteaks are better. But it's not like Nebraska, which is known for its steak. I mean, I guess it's like the culture of it that like makes it so good. So you have a bunch of people trying to make it. But anytime Philly gets all excited about this or looks down on other cheesesteaks, I'm like, this is not something to be. You didn't invent this. Like you didn't invent this very obvious combination. It's like, hey, like I took peanut butter and jelly and put them together and it tasted great. Like, yeah, no shit.
I think just like you could say that about beaches, Jersey Beach, but like California has some better beaches. Florida has better beaches.
All right, and this is where we cut the podcast. Welcome to Jersey's Worst Podcast featuring Chris Burch.
We're here to talk about cheesesteaks.
Yeah,
and I will say that I think it's just a thing of history of just knowing, having it passed down. When you have these establishments that have been around for hundreds of years or 100 plus years, like over a century, some people just know better. Just taking care of the steak more, knowing how to cook the beef, knowing how to mess the cheese, and actually caring about the roll. You could probably get good steak in Nebraska.
You definitely can, yeah.
Will the roll be as nice? You'll get very good cheese in Wisconsin. Will the steak be as well seasoned and prepared the right way? I just don't know. It's just a thing of history. It's like it's just been doing it for longer.
You know what? That's very valid, and it's also, I mean, to be fair, New Jersey has the best pizza, and it's not because of anything specific in New Jersey. I mean, I think New Jersey's water lends itself to pizza, but that does and bagels. But
New Jersey does have the oldest pizzeria in
Robbinsville. Papa's Tomato Pies, baby.
There we go.
It's the 5th episode in a row they've come up. God, I love Papa's.
Shout out that mustard pie.
Oh, so but you mentioned something that I think is important because I want to talk about what makes a good cheesesteak. And you know better than me, but from my perspective, the single most important and single most overlooked component of cheesesteaks is the bread. If you have a bad roll, it's kind of like if you have a bad crust on pizza. It doesn't matter. Like if your roll is bad, that's what you're tasting most of, and it's going to ruin the mouthfeel. It's going to ruin the flavor. It might fall apart. It might be too stodgy or too thick. It's all about the bread for me.
I gotta agree with you there. I think that's probably one of the first points I've agreed with you on in this pod, because that is the first thing that you come in contact with when you're taking a bite into a cheesesteak is the roll, whether it be a little too hard or too soft or soggy because the meat and the greases and the juices of the meat and cheese are seeping through. Like that matters. That's like a big thing. So I always take that into account, and I feel like that's one of the things that a cheesesteak defender, a Philly cheesesteak defender, would have to bring up when you start mentioning cheesesteaks from these other places. Because just like a bagel from New Jersey, I don't want a bagel in Atlanta. I don't order, it's like at certain places I don't want certain things. Yeah. So it's like, it's just because it's better here. We care about that a little bit more. So the roll is very, very important.
I had 2 really cool Philly cheesesteak experiences recently, like in Philadelphia. I went to D'Alessandro's up in North Philly, and I went to Angelo's in that's not South Philly, is it? I don't.
That's South Philly.
Okay, South Philly.
Angelo's, which originally opened in Haddonfield, and is opening a second location coming back across the bridge to New Jersey. They're coming to Mount Ephraim in the old the Knicks spot. So yeah, very interested. And Angelo's was the first person to use Cooper Sharp cheese when he was in Haddonfield.
Okay, there we go. Once again, another feather in Jersey's cap for this thing. Interesting thing about, for Angelo's coming back to Jersey is exciting. D'Alessandro's really awesome. The bread was very soft at D'Alessandro's, and I loved that. And the bread was really crusty at Angelo's, and like not like stale, like crusty. It was designed that way. And I gotta say, this has happened. It happens at Angelo's. It happens at sandwich spots across New Jersey now. I'm kind of sick of the overly crusty bread, especially for an overstuffed sandwich, because when you do it that way, it falls apart. It makes it harder to eat. As I was crunching into this it was very objectively good bread from Angelo's, but as I was biting into it, the meat and cheese were slipping out. And I mean, where are you at on that?
At Angelo's, you said?
Yeah, it was at Angelo's.
And I love Angelo's. You
It's
named
good steak.
D'Alessandro's. D'Alessandro's is my favorite Philly steak. Like that's
We're
my
agreeing
number
once
one.
again. This is beautiful.
That's my number one in Philly. I've always been a D'Alessandro's fan, but I do like Angelo's, and I actually feel like I like Angelo's so much because of that roll.
Okay.
I actually like the roll that that crusty, flaky roll on the outside. The D'Alessandro's one blends a lot easier. It's smooth, but I do like the Angelo's. I like that approach. I don't like when my roll is. You got to be special for me to like a completely soft roll. Like I don't want the roll to just be. I want the roll to fight back a little bit. Like,
Gotcha.
Give me a little crust. Give me a little sternness to the roll, so everything's just not falling apart.
All right. You got to talk about the cheese. I'm a Whiz Wit guy usually. Love Cheese Whiz. What is your preferable? What's the right cheese to get on a cheese? I know we talked about Cooper Sharp already, but is there a right cheese? I feel like there's a wrong cheese.
For years, you saw people like, oh, do you guys have provolone? Like that, like that was like the cut above. Everybody like, if it wasn't American cheese or whatever. I've never seen. Now I'm thinking about it. I've never seen anyone make a cheesesteak with like cheddar cheese.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I think
Can't
that's
do
that's for burgers. Unless you're at like
That's some
Wawa
Arby's
or
steak and
something.
big beef and cheddar. Which
Eh.
I'm not hating on Arby's because that's Jon Stewart's bit, not mine.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that right now is kind of the stronghold that Cooper Sharp. I wish I bought stock in Cooper Sharp cheese. Like 10, 15 years ago when I was in like high school or something, I should have bought stock in Cooper Sharp cheese. I would have been loaded right now. But yeah, Cooper Sharp is definitely leading the way. It's kind of a shame how much they've taken over. I don't want too many other steaks. You can still make good steaks without using Cooper Sharp cheese.
Yeah,
But personally, that is my favorite by far.
what is the default cheese at any cheesesteak spot? I've been told different things on this. Is it American or is it Whiz?
It was American. In Philadelphia, you'll see Whiz more.
Okay. What about
But
Jersey?
In Jersey, you'll see American or provolone cheese for a while. But it's the Whiz thing is really bigger at like Philly cheesesteak spots, like the corner stores, bodegas in Philly. They're not. That's not big like Whiz spots and stuff like that.
Wiz Khalifa. I love Cheese Whiz, and I'm really sick of people who think they're too good for Cheese Whiz, because if you're eating a giant sloppy steak sandwich with onions and peppers and steak and cheese, you are not too good for Cheese Whiz. You're not. Trust me. Don't think so highly of yourself. It's delicious, and it gets everywhere, and it does look kind of radioactive, and I don't care. I know this is bad for me. I know this is probably taking a few weeks off my life every single bite I take, and I don't care. Give me the Whiz. Nobody beats the Whiz, baby. I love Cheese Whiz, and so when I go to Christo's Wake and Steak, I get the steak with a Whiz. I love
the
old school John. Yeah, I'm about that. I just said John, and I'm doing a Jersey cheesesteak podcast. That's stolen valor right there. No, but no, I will say this. And do people in Jersey, when you order a cheesesteak, I mean, so is the wit thing a thing? Because I mean, in Philly, when you order a cheesesteak, you say the cheese, and then you say wit or without, right?
That's really biggest at Pat's and Geno's.
Both very overrated in my opinion. They're tourist traps.
Yes. I didn't want to admit that, but yes, they are. They are tourist traps. I'm not going to sit here and act like these steaks are revolutionary. When I go over there, I go to Insomnia Cookies. Like if I'm in that area, I'm not even getting a cheesesteak. But I won't knock them because of they mean a lot to the culture of cheesesteaks. You can't. That would be like disrespecting your grandparents. I don't want to say anything about that, but yeah, you might be past your time.
Yeah, and there was a time when I was in college and I ate a Pat's and Geno's cheesesteak back to back. With no problem. And now if I don't think I get through half a cheesesteak without passing out.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, college Jeremy was built different. It's funny. I didn't know I was gonna be a food writer one day, but I was training. Just not in like the quality of what I was eating, but like the amount. And the pictures show it. Your boy was rotund. I have to ask though, because that you have this thing in Philly with the cheesesteaks that they judge politicians based on how they order. John Kerry famously ordered a cheesesteak with Swiss cheese and got annihilated. I'm curious. What is the Jersey food that we judge politicians on? Like we're gonna have Chiarelli and Mikey Sherrill. They're running for governor. We're gonna be looking at their food orders. What's the thing that they have to order right to prove that they're one of us?
I would say your pizza, and obviously that like means toppings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a pineappler on pizza kind of person, like it might be a red flag. It definitely might
Big
be a
red flag.
Especially depending on which part of the state you're from, where there's a concentration of better pizzerias in another part. So it's like you definitely got to know pizza. You got to know bagels.
That's the big one for me.
And it's a thing of not just a bacon, egg, and cheese on a plain bagel. Like how do you want your everything toasted? You want a little bit of grape jelly on your bacon, egg, and cheese, or do you prefer a specialty cream cheese over just like strawberry or like one of the more normal or more common ones?
And if you're a politician that scoops your bagels, you should be automatically disqualified from the election. And if you're already elected, you're impeached. Congratulations. I think those are the big ones. If they're out here getting lox on a cinnamon raisin bagel or like white fish on a French toast bagel, or frankly, if they're ordering a blueberry bagel, you're not fit for office. I'm sorry. I'm not going to judge a politician on their Jersey cheesesteak orders. I don't think, but I will definitely judge them on the bagels and the pizza. The pineapple is a good. Also, I mean, Bill De Blasio once ate pizza with a fork and knife, and if Phil Murphy did that, I'm pretty sure he would have been impeached. But like, if the reason we're even doing this podcast, Chris, is because you recently wrote a story, a very interesting story, and you told me that there was a spot doing a Camden style cheesesteak, and it's called the Garnet Grill, and it's in Barrington, right?
It's in Haddon Heights technically, but yes, Haddon Heights, Barrington. It's a real interesting line. They're literally on the border of two townships or boroughs, in Haddon Heights and Barrington. They're right there. So yeah, either one.
Classic Jersey geographical debate. We love those.
It's technically Haddon Heights, but the spot used to be called the Barrington Diner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
But you told me they were doing a Camden style cheesesteak, which I understood that just because I know enough about Donkey's Place. But for the uninitiated, what does a Camden style cheesesteak entail?
A Camden style cheesesteak goes on a poppy seed roll. It's poppy seed Kaiser roll, not like a long hoagie roll like you're used to. The steak is sliced similar to that of some of the older Philadelphia establishments, because Donkey's has been around for decades and decades. And they usually top it with the onions that they let marinate on the grill for hours, like all day long. Top with the onions, and they got a nice pepper relish that really sets it off, that they're known for, along with their cheese.
So this is the spot that Bourdain praised. Going to Donkey's Place is an experience. You see their T-shirts not just all over Jersey, you see them all over the country because it's such a beloved spot. It's like a dive bar that has the grill in the back, very no frills, very what do you want, very very Jersey, I would have to say.
Very.
And even though they're Eagles fans, which I still struggle with the fact that a lot of New Jersey likes the Eagles. But I've only been to Donkey's Place once. I had a fantastic experience. They had Presidente. Had a nice beer with the cheesesteak, which was lovely. I had a great time. Is it the best cheesesteak I ever had? I don't know, but it's right up there. It was. I mean, it's a really good cheesesteak and a great experience for sure, which is so important in these food conversations. But what's interesting to me is you said that Garnet Grill does it better.
Yes. And I've definitely been getting a lot of feedback, we'll say, about my proclamation that Garnet Grill, and you go ahead, line them up and eat them together, and we'll talk about it. I made the proclamation that Garnet Grill is making the Camden-style cheesesteak better than Donkey's Place.
He said line them up and try them out. Let's do that. Chris was nice enough to bring cheesesteaks from both these spots, and we're going to eat them back-to-back and do a little taste test. All right, let's do Donkey's Place first. That's this one?
No. Donkey's is bleeding through the brown paper bag. Can we slide this a tiny bit? Is it gonna be? Oh no, yeah, it went out. That's perfect. There you go. may or may not be the sandwich I almost got beat up for.
It's just a giant turd. All right, you cool with me cutting it?
Yeah, go crazy. It's been a while. I wish it wasn't an hour and a half ago when I got those. Or 2 hours now.
I'm sure it's gonna be delicious.
I'm not gonna lie, that might have been 3 hours ago now.
It's so warm. Let's do it. All right. Oh shit. We got napkins right here.
Go crazy. Are we eating them up here?
No, I'll bring you. You know what? I'm gonna.
Is there a pepper relish on the side?
Yeah.
You need that. Yeah, you need that. The onions are lit. I'll give them that.
If you want, I can go into the security break room and nuke it.
No, we're good, man.
We should be good.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I'm gonna let you do it.
That's pretty. You go exactly. Go crazy, bro. Go stupid.
As long as you're cool.
Go crazy, man.
Now I took it off in the middle. Shit.
That's fine.
This is going great. You're doing great. There you are, sir.
Thank you.
Expense these,
Thank
right?
you.
Or is it cash only?
No,
Right,
I use my card.
Good. All right, let's reassemble. Definitely gonna want a clip of the taste test. For sure.
You gotta hold it to the camera.
Oh yeah. All right.
Do you want to?
You need both of them?
Do you want to move the stuff out of the way so you can just film the taste test and then go back and then reset?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Let's
You can just edit it.
look at the laptop. We'll take the laptops out.
Yeah, there's a chair right there.
I'm good. I put my kickstand on.
Some napkins.
Oh, this is lit.
This is fun. I've never done the podcast without a laptop in front of me. I feel so naked. All right. First half of this taste test, Chris Burch has brought us Donkey's Place classic cheesesteaks. We have put the classic pepper relish on the steak. Here it is for those watching. You should, if you're not watching, what are you doing? Here we go.
Classic cheesesteak.
Big slices.
Always got to shout Donkeys out. Great establishment. You can smell those onions cooking all down Had Nav, and it's a great place to go to. So
Cheers,
check it
Doc.
out. So here we are.
L'chaim. That's delicious. James, I'm so sorry you had to hear all that chewing. And Dwayne heard it right now. My bad. I haven't got to the
pepper relish.
Yeah,
It actually tastes better than I thought it would after the ride.
Yeah, these are we're not filming this in Camden, so. That's terrific. I'm good. I mean, if you want to bring me napkins. Yeah, I mean, the thing I'll say about this style of cheesesteak. Thank you, Dwayne. Got Dwayne helping us out as always. The thing about this cheesesteak for me, it almost feels like a hot roast beef sandwich, the way that it's sliced.
You can't say that.
I mean,
They will beat you up, Jeremy.
well, they will anyway. I'm a Giants fan. It's delicious. It's just, I mean, it's the thick slices that I mean, for me, that kind of make it feel like a roast beef. And look, I love roast beef sandwiches. That's not an insult, man. I'm hungry. I'm not gonna lie.
Roll's good. Classic. The steak's always good. I think the highlight here is the pepper relish, which I should have put more on. the pepper relish and the onions that they let marinate forever. I feel like that oniony and that acidity from the pepper relish, when you let that really seep into the beef, perfect.
I see why people love this so much. I mean, I've had it before, and I'm reminded now why people love this so much. It's a very unique cheesesteak. You can, the poppy seed bun. It doesn't like. And I say this as such a compliment. It doesn't feel like a cheesesteak. It feels like its own thing. I see why Bourdain loved it so much. I see why I love it so much. I'm now reminded why I drove to Camden that one time and why I want to do it again as soon as possible. But Chris Burch says that Garnet Grill does it even better. Let's give that one a shot.
Let's go. I'm ready. I'm going to take another bite of this, though. Here's where it gets interesting. Damn, I feel bad just eating this in front of you guys. I should have got 4.
You forgot about us.
Hey man, I got half of one here if you want it.
Go crazy. I can't eat this whole thing now, so I'll just cut it in 4s.
Wanna cut
This one's better anyway.
Yo, this thing is fucking huge.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
And no, I don't get special treatment.
All right.
Wait, is that one Kaiser though?
Yep.
So do they get them special made like that?
That's a good. I mean,
That's a good question.
sounds like
I've
something.
never seen a Kaiser roll that look like that.
Well, something I should investigate.
All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. It's already cut once. I'm gonna cut it again into 4s because it's so big.
And I'll point out a big distinction when we hop into it.
Here you are, sir.
Go crazy.
This is for you guys.
Did they have a pepper relish in the bag?
Yeah. Want to take it off the table?
Oh.
And the podcast is ruined.
Podcast is down.
If we ran out of chairs to put stuff on.
That's all good. I'll just drag it to this chair.
I'm done my donkey's have. I was hungry as hell, man.
Have you heard of a spot called Veloce in Jersey City?
Mm-mm.
I went there for lunch. I had a grilled chicken with pesto and burrata. Was that?
I feel like this is definitely a napkin sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got plenty.
Yeah.
This is from a different place?
This is from Garnet Grill. Here you are, sir.
So you sure you don't want half of this?
Oh,
It's like a sandwich itself.
There's 2 pieces. Yo, Dwight, I mean, you sure, Dwight?
no, I'll take it later.
Okay.
Take it home.
I'm sorry, can I get her a plate? I don't want to eat
Yeah, dude. Absolutely.
You're good. Nah, it's
Bro, you
yeah.
got the fucking plates for us. Absolutely.
Get one more of these bad boys.
it. Oh, wait, there's a
We know how it is.
The pepper relishes look very similar.
The Garnet Grill one is a little like less bitey,
A little sweeter.
a little sweeter. All right, we're doing great, guys.
Yep.
Everybody, 2 claps for everybody. Everybody's doing good. Good job, team.
We didn't even point out that the cheesesteak that we just tasted is literally behind us. I've never done that before. I've never eaten a food while the food was behind me. It's crazy. Do not use that. All right, now we have the Camden style cheesesteak from Garnet Grill in.
The Garnet Grill in Haddon Heights, technically, or Barrington, whatever you consider it. Garnet Grill, named after the mascot of the local high school, Haddon Heights High School. Go Garnets.
This thing
My
is
alma mater.
This is so big. Oh, no wonder you like it so much. This thing is so big that we cut the halves in half, and it's pretty much the same size, which is crazy.
And I want to get, I don't know how close we
Yeah.
can get, but you can see it. It's layered a little differently than a Donkey's cheesesteak. There's cheese, Cooper Sharp cheese, which I already spoke to you guys about. Cooper Sharp cheese layered throughout there through the pieces of steak, not just on top or on the bottom or whatever.
Okay.
But
So
yeah,
it's slightly
there we go.
different. Cheers, bro.
Cheers, let's get after
Uno
it.
vez más. Yeah, that's better. Donkey's Place, I love you. That's better. I'm sorry. Whoa. You know, for a guy who was kind of talking smack about Cooper Sharp, that goes hard. Man! Wow. Wow.
And I said it earlier in the sorry if I'm Patrick Starr just chewing in this thing right now. But I said it earlier in the episode. There is something about the Cooper Sharp that just takes things to the next level. Everything, you can make a good steak in a bunch of different ways. But the Cooper Sharp cheese, right now, it's a game changer. Like, seriously, it'll get you a ring. It'll get you a championship.
I can't stop eating. That's how good it is. Now, both of them have the pepper sauce. Maybe I just put more pepper sauce on this one, but it actually had a nice bite to it, a little sweetness to it. I think I like the onions at Donkey's better,
Yes.
but I like the steak at Garden Grill better. Man, Chris, as your editor, I had to trust your judgment, and I was like, hey man, better him than me. But now I see why you wrote that article.
Yeah. And now you see why people are trying to beat me down, and I'm unfazed because I told them the truth, and it's a truth, and truths need to be told. It's pretty simple there.
The hardest part of this job.
Not a knock to anyone. I want to repeat that as many times as I can. I love donkey steak, but
You had a really cool. I think it was in the story. You had a cool anecdote about how like your family had told you about Donkey's Place.
that's family, friends, a bunch of. I really got put on to this steak at Garnet Grill from a lot of the guys that I trust. A lot of older guys, grandpa, dad, uncles, family friends that know this steak and are big donkeys guys. So as a kid, I always grew up. It was always the lure of like, oh, donkeys. We used to have these donkeys nights in the 70s, 80s, 90s, whenever, where you'd be drunk all night and you could eat donkeys, and it just was the perfect. These are great sober-up sandwiches.
Yeah.
Like, both of them.
Both of them.
But yeah, it just seems like donkeys, the peak might have been behind us.
I'm gonna let you say that. Not even because I don't want to say it, but because you know Donkey's better than me. I still bet the experience of going to Donkey's is better. No hate to Garnet Grill. I just think the atmosphere, the vibe, the attitude. But I think the creaminess of the cheese really elevates that whole sandwich. I mean, you know that there's an episode of Parks and Rec where they make Chris Traeger, aka is it Rob Lowe? I should know that. Chris Traeger. Yeah. God, I love it when I'm right and I'm not sure of it. They give Chris Traeger, a vegetarian, they make him take one bite of he made like a veggie burger, and he's like, it's made with tofu and blah blah blah. And he's like, here's a cheeseburger, it's made with meat, I don't care, whatever. Boom. He takes one bite and he goes, this is better. And that's exactly what just happened. That was, I mean, Chris, I always trusted your food opinions, but you've continued to burnish your reputation with me. I will continue to listen to your crazy cheesesteak ideas from here on out.
Thank you. I wish more people listen to everything I said.
I'm going to say everything.
I think the world might be a better place. So, yeah, definitely I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true.
Of course. No, I believe you. But that was... Whew. But now, would you say, to wrap it up, would you say what we just had is a Jersey-style cheesesteak? Because
Donkey's, heralded as the golden child of the Jersey cheesesteaks, and even the late great Anthony Bourdain calling that the #1 cheesesteak. I have to say that is a Jersey steak. The Camden style cheesesteak is a Jersey cheesesteak. Camden is in New Jersey. I feel like that.
So we're getting geographical.
Yeah,
with it.
I guess to not be so straightforward.
It might be a Jersey steak, even if it's not a Jersey style steak. Is what you're saying?
Even if it's not a Jersey style steak, it's still a Jersey steak because the two
it
places
was made in New Jersey.
Yeah, it was made in New Jersey, but it was made for New Jersey as well.
Mm-hmm.
And not to get all political, but that's a staple. You don't need to visit Camden if you're not riding out Haddon Ave and grabbing you a Donkey's cheesesteak. And that's something that we take pride in, and that's a big thing. I gotta say that's a Jersey style steak.
Chris, this was a lot of fun. This was eye-opening. My taste buds are still singing. That was delicious. Thank you, Donkeys. Thank you, Garnet Grill. 2 fantastic cheesesteaks. Before we go, we said we are going to build our New Jersey cheesesteak Mount Rushmores individually, and I would be remiss not to do it. Here are our New Jersey cheesesteak Mount Rushmores. I'm going to go first. For me,
Drum roll.
the first spot on my Mount Rushmore goes to Donkey's Place. I know we just talked about it a bunch. We just ate one. It's delicious. It's iconic. It has history. It has Anthony Bourdain's ring endorsement. It has a great experience. It has a unique shape and format. So big love for Donkey's Place. That's got it. If you're gonna make a Jersey cheesesteak Rushmore, I feel like it has to be there. Number 2, I'm going to give it to a new school spot, Christo's Wake and Steak in Bloomfield, which we talked about a little bit. They're doing a bunch of crazy sandwiches there. They do the old school steak. They do the new school steak. They do the whiz. They do the Cooper Sharp if you want it. Whatever you get there, it's going to be good. I'm also just psyched to see not only Bloomfield getting some love, but North Jersey in general getting a cheesesteak spot on the map. No Forks Given in Jersey City would be my 3rd Mount Rushmore slot. Now, No Forks Given used to be a truck. Now they have a brick and mortar spot in downtown Jersey City. They do some really, really cool stuff. They're really good sandwiches, really good fried chicken sandwiches, really good specials. They had an egg banh mi that I loved. But their cheesesteaks, especially their Korean cheesesteak with gochujang, is phenomenal. It's messy. They're so messy that I feel like they would qualify as Philly style steaks. Even though I think they might be doing the Cooper Sharp. I should know that. But whatever it is, it's very good. One of the overlooked spots in Jersey City. Check out No Force Given. And the 4th spot, which this is not a typical cheesesteak by any stretch, but I think it needs to be mentioned. It's probably my personal favorite cheesesteak in New Jersey, Beyond Pita in Montclair, which is a tiny little spot on Church Street. It's actually known for its falafel and its shawarma, not necessarily its cheesesteaks, unless you know, because everyone I talked to from Montclair that grew up eating Beyond Pita knows the cheesesteak is fire. The cheesesteak is delicious. It's not overstuffed. It's not super messy. But what's the most interesting part of it for me is it has peppers, onions, and potatoes. So you have like a kind of tender note in there with the potato, almost like a fat sandwich vibe. And a certain spice blend that I don't know if it's the tar or what, but it's phenomenal, really, really excellent, and just really cool finding a cheesesteak in a spot you wouldn't necessarily expect to find one. So my Jersey cheesesteak Mount Rushmore, Donkey's Place, Christo's Wake and Steak, No Forks Given, and Beyond Pita. Chris, I have a feeling you're going to have a little more South Jersey representation than me. What is your Mount Rushmore of Jersey cheesesteaks?
Definitely going to be some more South Jersey representation. For obvious reasons. But if I had to pick, first of all, I want to get into some honorable mentions that aren't going to make this list.
Whoa, sneaking them in.
That aren't going to make this list, but deserve some love. And one of them being Rocco's in Lawnside. There's the Rocco's has a few little spots. There's a little shack there in front of Home Depot's. They got them out in Philly, and they got a few in South Jersey now. And a lot of people I keep seeing talk about Rocco's in Lawnside specifically. And that one is really good. I've been getting steaks there for a little while, or breakfast sandwiches. They do a really good job. I gotta say Johnny Long Hots. The one in Voorhees, I had more than the Marlton spots or Sickville spots. Good cheesesteaks there. And King of Pizza in Berlin has a good cheesesteak as well. I gotta shout some people out that aren't gonna make this my Mount Rushmore, but some of the more underrated cheesesteaks that I pop out and check on. So
I didn't get to do that, man. What the hell? I'm not. You deserve it. But what's your top 4 though?
Yeah, if you gave honorable mentions, you'd start saying like Quick Check and stuff
Whoa!
like that.
So. No. I'm not saying I don't like. Though I will say I've had a decent a decent Philly. I know you hate when people say that, right? I would never call it that. I've had a decent cheesesteak from Wawa, not Quick Check. Wawa is better than Quick Check.
There we go.
But what's your top 4?
There we go. He said he cleared the air. We had to get that out there. My Mount Rushmore, my New Jersey Mount Rushmore, guys, do not attack me because there are spots in Philly that I really, really love.
We'll talk about that.
My New Jersey Mount Rushmore, cheesesteak Mount Rushmore. We got Lilo's Tomato Pies in Hainesport. We got Chick's Deli, No Frills classic spot in Cherry Hill. We got Deli Cozy, one of the newer kids on the block, another one of those Cooper Sharp cheese users, and they're making their way. They're down in Glendora. And we got Gold's Burgers, who uses an interesting everything seasoned roll, and they have yellow Cooper sharp cheese, which I think is I think I might have seen one other place, but Cooper that's the only place I know that's selling them on their cheesesteaks right now. And they're in Haddonfield. I think they got a spot or two in Philly and one in like Medford.
And they're putting on an everything roll.
It's an everything roll.
So it's
yeah.
almost like a cheesesteak on an everything bagel vibe.
Yeah, and I think that's why I love it so much. My love for everything bagels.
That's Jersey as hell. I love that. That's of all the ones you just mentioned, I think I've had Chicks and I was impressed. Everyone says is it Lilo's?
Classic. Chicks is super classic. No, it's not a huge steak. Some people are like, oh, there's not enough meat in it. I think it's fine. Maybe order double meat.
Wait, so if there's not enough, does that mean it's Jersey style?
Yes, it definitely leans more Jersey style.
Okay.
When you can see the roll close, that's Jersey style. That's Jersey style. So Chicks is elite, just old spot, very simple. Are they cash only? They might be cash only.
You know better than me.
Yeah, but one of those kind of spots. Lilo's is fire. Lilo's is probably my favorite in New Jersey. I love that Lilo's steak. They have good pizza too, and then Deli Cozy, which I just spoke about, it kind of a newcomer, and they kind of cutting their chops, and they're stacking up against some of these big powers very well.
There you have it. You have 8 cheesesteak spots that you need to try if you haven't tried. You got the North Jersey guy, you got the South Jersey guy, you got a little blend of both. You said is Crystal's your favorite? You said that's your favorite in North Jersey?
Crystal, yes, north of
Robbinsville. You said
north of Robbinsville. What's in Robbinsville? Meatheads is a good cheesesteak.
Man, the way I talk about pizza is the way you talk about cheesesteaks, and I love that. That's not that you don't know pizza.
Yeah, we can talk about pizza too.
I know we can. I just did that with Pete. That was fun. But there you have it. Those are our Jersey cheesesteak Mount Rushmores. Chris, this was as fun as I expected, if not more, and very delicious. But before we let you go, we got to run you through the Garden State Gauntlet Cheesesteak Edition. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Favorite New Jersey cheesesteak spot?
Lilo's.
Favorite Philadelphia cheesesteak spot?
D'Alessandro's.
Mine too. Most overrated cheesesteak spot?
Most overrated cheesesteak?
Most overrated.
Jim's.
In
Philly.
In Philly?
On whatchamacallit, on South Street.
The place that caught fire?
Yeah, where they do the I forget what the word is. Where they wrap the slice of Lorenzo's pizza around the Jim's
the Philly burrito.
Burrito, yeah. No.
What's the most overrated cheesesteak in Jersey?
Oh, most overrated cheesesteak in Jersey? Most overrated cheesesteak in Jersey, in my opinion, is going to be Corson Steaks in Haddonfield.
I have not even heard of it. People love it.
Corson's is high. I want to say that our good friend Pete listed Corson's pretty high on his last roundup of Jersey's best cheesesteaks. Corson's was at 3.
And you think it's overrated? That's the beauty of our food team, that we have
3.
so many varied opinions. We don't agree on anything, yet we find a way to get political and make these or civil and make these lists.
Because everything we say it goes. It's right. Everything we say.
Everything. What is your favorite cheese for a cheesesteak?
Cooper Sharp.
Ketchup on a cheesesteak, yes or no?
This is the interesting one.
Here we go.
Packet ketchup only. It's weird. It's the weirdest thing. People are always talking. Oh, there's no difference. Yes, it is. I promise. And start paying attention to it. Start using packet ketchup on your cheesesteak instead of the bottle out of your fridge if it's cold. And I don't mind. I like when my ketchup is colder. That's why I throw my packets in the fridge. But packet cheesesteak on a packet ketchup on a cheesesteak is completely different.
What's the difference?
Than cheesesteak out of a bottle. And if I could explain the feeling in words. If I could explain the feeling,
I would make you write a column about it.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of the things everybody needs to experience. I don't know if you're portioning out your ketchup maybe a little more because you have a packet and you're trying to make, I got 1 packet. All right, now that's 2 packets and I got half. You're trying to like make it make sense if you only got a few packets or you got too many packets and you don't want to waste ketchup or whatever. But packet ketchup on a cheesesteak is the way to go. You could even get crazy, get down and dirty, and just go a squirt per bite.
Oh, I'll do that sometimes.
People do that, and it's easier to do.
But so basically, just to bring it back, people that say ketchup doesn't belong on a cheesesteak, are they wrong?
I don't hate it. A good cheesesteak does not need ketchup.
We didn't have ketchup on either of those.
A good cheese because they didn't need it.
Yeah, but they had the pepper sauce. Which I wouldn't want ketchup and pepper sauce.
Understood.
But
a good cheesesteak does not need ketchup. I can eat a good cheesesteak and I ate that Cristo steak and halfway through it I was like, oh, I didn't even use this ketchup packet that I just grabbed.
I like ketchup on a steak. I If you don't like it, I get it, but it's not the same as putting it on, like, people are like, it's like putting it on a steak. I was like, no, it's not. I love cheesesteaks, and yes, that is steak, but it is not. That is not a New York ribeye. That is not a strip steak. Regardless, good to know. Mayo on a cheesesteak, yes or no?
I'm not a big mayo guy on anything. I kind of don't understand the point of mayo. I'm not gonna lie. I do not understand the point. Some of the spicy aiolis, they're not terrible on a chicken sandwich or whatever, but it's like, I don't understand the point of mayo. If I wanted a real sandwich, like a real sandwich eater, I'm gonna use like spicy mustard or something like that. The mayo on the steak, I understand why people like that, like extra creaminess, and I think that's why Cooper Sharp is catching on so much, because it provides that creaminess that mayo would give a steak.
Interesting. I've never had it, but I'm not opposed. I could see it working. It just also seems like a lot going on.
Not mayo. And I feel like we also didn't really talk about how important good fried onions are on a cheesesteak. You can order it with or without. You do whatever you want, but the best cheesesteaks, you got to get some fried onions on there. And depending on how people mix them in or throw them on the side, you got very well-established cheesesteak eateries that are over in Philly kind of beefing over where the onions go or how the steak's supposed to be chopped up right now and all that kind of stuff. But I will say that onions, grilled onions specifically, are the way to go.
So Whiz Wit or Cooper Wit, you gotta have the wit.
For sure.
Now, that you might have just answered the last question for me, but maybe you have another answer. What's the number one thing people get wrong about cheesesteaks? Like when they're ordering or when they're making or...
I think I would probably say cheese, because the cheese takes you a second. People that are ordering, like, you got to find which cheese is right for you. Some people like Cheese Whiz. Some people don't like Cooper Sharp. I love Cooper Sharp. Some people want a provolone cheese or just American cheese. Like, you got to find. Some people like cheesesteak hoagies, which I find myself.
What's that?
Which I find myself. That's something that you only start eating when you get older. Like,
what's a cheesesteak hoagie?
I'm definitely getting older because I'm eating cheesesteak hoagies now, like my grandpa or something. A cheesesteak hoagie is just a simple cheesesteak, lettuce, tomato, not grilled onions, raw onions if you want.
Okay.
Lettuce, tomato, and usually mayo or whatever they put on there.
Mayo.
But I get it with no mayo. I get it with no mayo, but yeah, it's just a mix of a cheesesteak and a hoagie. It's a pretty good sandwich, but it's something that I never thought I would eat as a kid, and now I'm like, let me get a cheesesteak hoagie. I need some salad.
Yeah, get your vegetables.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much today, Chris. This has been so much fun. Where can people follow you? Where can they find your work, et cetera, et cetera? Plug whatever you got.
Well, you can find me on NJ.com, and I'll probably be back on this podcast soon, so you guys need to like, comment, and subscribe. All my work's on NJ.com. Chris Burch, food and culture reporter. I'm always making headlines. Whether you love me or want to yell at me, go ahead, Google me, Chris Burch, NJ.com. You'll find everything at Swish Burch, SWISHBURCH. On Instagram and on X. You can find me there. You can add me on LinkedIn, Chris Burch. You figure out how to spell it.
My man plugged LinkedIn before he plugged TikTok.
You can find me everywhere. And you can find me on TikTok as well. I'm making TikToks now.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm making TikToks.
Chris, working with you is a blast. I knew having you on the podcast would be a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Does a lot of great work. He has South Jersey covered down pat. And got the comfort foods, got the food trucks, but also been dabbling in some finer dining stuff lately, which has been fun for me to work with. Thank you to our audio producer, James Shapiro, our video producer, Dwayne Uzaro, our executive producer, Bobby Olivier. Thank you, as always, to Schmutzadel's for our theme song. If you have questions, episode ideas, guest suggestions, just want to talk, just want to tell me you love me, want to tell me you hate me, whatever, probably hate me, email us at jerseysbestpodcast@gmail.com. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. We are still new to the podcast game, trying to get all those reviews. 5 stars, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Say something nice, say I'm handsome, lie to the people. And seriously, please consider subscribing to NJ.com. There's a link in our episode notes. New Jersey needs high-quality journalism, and our journalists need you. Tune in again next week for the latest episode of Jersey's Best Podcast. And remember, Jersey forever.